Hey everyone, John Runner 88 here with another droid discussion. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and this is probably going to be very similar to the previous video. Aside from the fact that I've got more droids, and that's because droids are awesome, and it's like kind of just like a staple of Star Wars 3 3/4 inch collecting. They're awesome. Like look at the variety here. There's just so many colors, just so many like different like dome designs. And I'm here to talk a little bit about how I don't think Disney Parks is doing a bad job by any means. I think they're actually doing a great job. They are pumping out droids all the time. But I think Hasbro could be doing a little bit more. And who knows, they might have something going with Hasbro and Disney that like Disney does not let them do like separate droids, because like my idea is that it would be awesome to have a steady droid line for 3 3/4 inch and not have it necessarily under the vintage collection banner. And that's just a way to get more figures into the line, get droids out there. Like droids are something that like kids could have a lot of fun with because it's like they're like nondescript. Like you could use a droid in any type of like setup or display for any type of figures. Like you could have one zooming around with your Ninja Turtles or something, whatever you're collecting. But one thing that I have noticed an extreme lack of when it comes to figures is actual figures on the shelf. And we see plenty of Black Series for the most part, but even them, or even those ones, have been a little skimpy with the product I've been seeing in stores. The store I work at specifically, I haven't gotten a case of vintage collection figures in a few months, which is ridiculous because some other stores in the area are getting the new wave, and my store just hasn't gotten them for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not good for the line if you just have some Landos and Queels sitting around. But that's a that's a problem all on its own. I think something that they could do is bring a new fresh line, just call it just I would even be fine with like mystery boxes, because the way that Hasbro does their Build-A-Droids, it's the same as the Disney parks, but it's like it's just a great way. Like this one right here. This is not all the pieces to this droid. I had the leg from, it was a Legacy collection. I think that was doing the Build-A-Droids. I had the leg, and I think I had this leg as well from supposed to be some other random droid. And somebody was selling the head and the body online for, a decent price. So I picked it up and I just like cobbled this together. And that is something that could be done with like mystery blind bags or something, because one issue that I have with the mystery blind bag situation when it comes to stuff like that is you say, one of the big things is like, say there's like, you know, the LOL dolls and whatnot. You pay however much, like $10. You don't want to get the same thing. At least with like when it comes to the LOL dolls, if you do get if you have several duplicates, you can like change their outfits up and stuff like that. But there are other things like one example is that they're doing in what they've got the Disney Park ones, the Droid Depot like blind crates. I think the prices are outrageous for those. It's almost like $18. I think it's like 17.99 for a mystery crate. You don't know what droid you're getting. I know they like represent like a droid from like Galaxy's Edge and in that like area, but you don't know if you're getting a BB droid or if you're getting an R series. And somebody like me, I don't like the style of BB or B unit droids that they have with the Disney parks. I prefer the Hasbro ones right here. So I would be very disappointed if I spent like $18 and got a B series droid. But also you can, and with those ones you can't really trade the parts around like the B units. Like they've got two sides for their like sphere, and then they've got the head. Like you can't really mix and match those very well. You can with these. So like if you got two R series droids, you could swap those parts out. But I think it would be just a great way to pad the line out, have just a lower cost like blind bag, like do like $10 blind bags. You get a droid and say it's a droid, and just like they did with the Droid Depot ones that they did, which I loved those when they had the Galaxy's Edge stuff come to Target for a little bit. They had there's six different ones I believe. Yeah, there's this one, and then there's this pink one back here. They each came with the R series droids each came with like an extra accessory, and then they had B units that came with two per pack, which was awesome. So you'd have like a two pack with these, and then you'd have like this red one here came with an extra dome. So you can swap those heads out. So if you were to do like a blind bag, even if you did something like that, like you had like an extra head or something, even if you didn't do that, say you got two blind bags and you, I don't know, you got two of the same one, that'd be kind of a shame. But the moment you start getting different ones, you can just mix and match all the pieces up. And I think that it would be because like all these companies, they love their blind bags. They are, they just drool over them. They think that people will just buy until they get what they want. The issue is that we get very frustrated, especially like collectors get very frustrated. Kids also like I've gotten blind bag things before for my kids like the LOL dolls. It is so deflating when they get like a repeat, and I really wish that these companies would do something to help with that. Like put like some companies do put codes on them, or maybe there's a slight color difference in like the packaging or whatever. But it is very frustrating when you get duplicates. But at least with something like this, you could mix and match the heads. There's always cobbled together droids. I've got this guy right here who is literally just. I went to like a comic book shop. I got this guy. He was full, and then there's this one, and then it came with just like the chassis for like another one. And I had like all these bits laying around, so I just put it together, and here you go, just a junkyard droid thrown together. But I think that would be a very easy way for Hasbro to pump some things out, keep them on the shelf. Disney Parks does it constantly. They've always got some type of like four pack or just like a single carded one. They just came out with the right here. We've got some of the rainbow six pack droids, and they've got so many pieces, and they have been utilizing them for years now. They used to have the droid builder tables where this is one of the first droids I ever put together. It was like this one, I believe, and this one right here were like two of the very first droids I put together. And it was like my first trip to, not my first trip to Disney, but like first trip as an adult. And because they didn't have the tables when I went when I was younger. But it's just an awesome souvenir. You just build your own little droid. And they took the tables away during COVID, and they haven't put them back yet. And it's a real shame because it's just a fun little experience. You can just, like I went with my kids a few years ago when they did have the tables. I put this one together. My daughter put this orange one together back here. And you can just like mix and match the pieces all you want. And I just think that bringing back some type of like droid specific line would be a great way for Hasbro to just stock the shelves up. Like when they did that Galaxy's Edge stuff and they were just like these trays of droids was just, it was phenomenal. We had this, like I said, this red one here came with the extra head. Awesome. There was, move him. There's this black and orange one. Cool design. Has these little boosters on the side. It came with flame effects, but I put them somewhere else because I was using them for like some Mando characters. And then what was the other one? And then it was this pink one back here, pinkish purple one. And that one came with a drink serving tray, just like that. And those are great accessories. Like the drink serving tray, it's got what, like 7 glasses on there, and they fit in like the hands of your like characters. And it had like a nozzle that went on top too. And it's just like, it's just such a fun. I know it didn't come with a nozzle. It did come with the drinks, but the Disney droids do have little nozzles you can pop in if you want to. But they're just like great figures. Like they're fun. They can, like I said, they can work in like any display. They can like work with any types of figures. If you've got some vehicles that fit droids, like there's nothing better than a droid slot in a vehicle. They could certainly come out with some, unique like mini rigs or something for them, like the droid line and with the droid taxi or something. Like they can do all sorts of weird things like that. And just like how Disney Parks is doing, like every so often they'll come out with like a Mandalorian pack or like a solo pack. Like these droids were in the background, and then they'll just come out with like the 6-pack of just never been on screen figures. They're just cool new designs, just to pad out the lines, just for people to get excited and just get new figures. And I mean, all that stuff sells out for the most part. Like it does not last in parks long, like the single carded ones. And when it goes up online, they're sold out. I would imagine probably in like the day or so. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the actual numbers or how long things last on there, but I just think that it would be a phenomenal way for Hasbro to just really get. They love their repaints. Repaint, Hasbro. Repaint all of them. We want all the repaints because it is something worth repainting, just like Clone Troopers. And I will have another video about that. So stay tuned. Not sure which one is going out first. I'm doing a lot of droids right now, so I might do this one after the Clone Trooper one, but if you're watching this, feel free to go check my other videos. I have a previous droid discussion, and it touches on probably a lot of the same points, but I definitely have more droids now, and they could definitely just be having a lot more fun and just giving us a lot more variety and just a lot more options when it comes to collecting. And yeah, and they can also give us more of these little charging stations. Those are awesome. That could definitely be like a little pack-in. And easily do like, hey, be like, oh, there's like a special, stupid silver droid or something, and this, it's like the chase one or whatever. Like, oh, find the super rare one. But then you can have a bunch that you can just swap the parts with if you need to. If you've got duplicates, swap them around, change them up, make them your own, and give us more droids, because we'll just keep buying them because we're just hopeless collectors, and we just need more plastic to fill the empty voids in our souls. But yes, those are my quick thoughts, and by quick I mean 15 minutes worth of thoughts on just stuff that they could be doing to give us more variety, more toys on the shelf, because they're just having trouble getting vintage collection figures onto shelves and in a timely manner, especially with like the media that's been coming out. So this is a way to just keep getting figures out there. They don't need to be like necessarily like approved by Disney necessarily, just pumping out colors. And maybe when they do come out with like a specific droid, be like, hey, you can get it in the vintage collection, but it's also like a chase variant in like the next wave of droid figures. But I think that's going to about do it for this. Thank you for watching, everybody. Go follow me over on Instagram, JohnRunner88 over there as well. How many droids do you have? Go count them right now. I want to know. I want to know how soulless you are. How many droids you need to fit inside your little geek heart. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye, guys.